Cool. So, um, cool. So, um, first of all, happy Thursday. Depending on sort of what day you're watching this. Right now it's a Thursday, but I thought I would just do another video and just talk because I feel like talking and I don't have anything else to do right now, really, honestly. But I sort of wanted to talk about the reality of working a 9-to-5 job. I just want to give my perspective, really, having worked sort of a lot of different types of jobs and just seeing like the dynamics of all of them. So just like a brief history, I sort of started. I got my first job when I was 16, and I worked at Gap on. Actually, I won't say where, but I worked at a Gap store. It was like my first job. I remember these times I was studying, so it was a part-time job, and every other day I would go into work and just sort of do work, I guess. Sell products, restock clothes, help out with anyone that needs help finding stuff. And yeah, so when I did that job, first of all, I did that job for maybe about 4 months. So while doing that job, I sort of like got to grips with the work life really fast, only because the store that I was working at was in a very like busy area, so that was the place to really get like a lot of experience and just see different things. I remember I wasn't the only young one there. There were also other young people there. I think my manager my manager at the time sort of set out to get like young people sort of working because they're more active, and it's a great experience for them. But yeah, I remember going to work then. I remember these times I actually used to have an hour break, and then it became obsolete as I got older. But yeah, that was my first like official job, and I was going to work, do the job. I used to sort of run into like angry customers every now and then. But every shift, my job sort of changed. Like my role that I was doing. So one day I might be at the tills. One day I might be restocking. One day I might just be on the shop floor. And yeah, it was really like a rotational job. So my first lesson I sort of learned from that is that I really don't like this shit. I do not like this. Reason being is because it's just unpredictable. Like every day you came in, it was a bit unpredictable. Like you didn't really know what you was doing. And obviously these times it wasn't on the rota, sort of like, okay, this day you're doing this day you're doing that. Like it was very much, okay, this is the time that you're working, this is what you're going to do. And then when you come into the shift, this is basically like what you're going to do for the rest of the day. And I used to find that like really frustrating, because on the days that I would be like studying and working and then having to go to work, like if I got a day where I had to do something that I didn't want to do, like it would really irritate me, because obviously I don't have the energy, and like that shit was boring, bro. Like I'm gonna be honest with you, it was super boring. Like I wasn't on it. But then after like the first 4 weeks, I sort of understood the dynamics of the job. Like I saw who hated their job, and I saw who used the job as an opportunity to grow. So first I want to talk about like who sort of hated the job, and what I found was that the people that hated their job the most were the oldest people there. And that kind of makes sense because, being at an older age and having to work at retail, like, it's not on everyone's, like, you know, no one dreams to do that, put it that way. And that's no shade to anyone that is working at working a sort of retail job and they're older. But I just put things into perspective for me, because obviously I saw all the older people, they just sort of hated their job, bro, and they hated their life, like, and they would take it out on other people, including me. Like, I remember one time I came into work, there was like 2 managers there. By the time I came in, and my manager was just being so salty, like, and I just used to sit there and just think to myself, like, why are you so salty? Like, what is happening to you? And obviously, it's the job, innit? Like, no one really wants to be there, hanging clothes, doing all that. Like, it gets draining. And when you're old, like, you know, energy, you can't preserve your energy anymore. So, like, it's the little things that sort of irritate you. On top of that, if people aren't really paying attention, then it's just like, that just adds another level of stress. So, yeah, that's what I sort of gained from an early age. Now, like, fast forward to, like, maybe I've had a couple jobs in between, like when I was 16 and when I was sort of 18. But another one that taught me a really big, or there was two that taught me a really big lesson. And I was working at Amazon warehouse, and also, like, I used to work at like a bicycle shop, but I used to do deliveries on the bike. But yeah, I'm not gonna name that, because most likely people watching this aren't even gonna know where it is. It was really like a local thing, but I did get paid a lot doing it, I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, back to Amazon. So I remember these times, like, I didn't really have, like, so to say, like, this was a time where I was really looking for a job. Like, I didn't have a lot of experience. Like, I needed to get a job just to earn money at the time. So I remember I applied to Amazon warehouses, and I actually managed to get the job. And I had to go through like a whole, like, the screening process, like just the process in general took me at least, like, I remember a week and a half just to get through it. And this was just for a warehouse job, like me simply picking up a box and putting it on a flipping conveyor belt. Like, this shit wasn't no, like, office job, nothing, no, bro. All I had to do was pick up a box and put it on a conveyor belt. And obviously at the time that sounded easy to me, because, like, you know, I'm getting paid a lot just to put a box in a conveyor belt. So I was like, cool. Then I went to, like, what was I gonna say? Sorry, I just lost my train of thought. But anyway, let me just fast forward. So this job was all the way in, like, Weybridge, right? And I live, like, put it like this, I live like 2 hours away from Weybridge. Like, I had to catch at least three to two different trains, like, every night. Bear in mind, this was a night-time job. Like, I had to do night shifts, so my job would start at like 12 in the night, and then it would go, I would work 12 hours all the way to 12 in the morning the next day. And bear in mind, I was like 2 hours away from my house, bro. Like, I couldn't, like, if I really wanted to, I probably couldn't even get back home, because the trains from where I was, the trains at my work were like, they weren't like the local trains that I get. These were like some next trains. Like, I had to wait. It's one of those trains where you have to wait like a long time to get. So if I missed my train, put it like this, if I missed my train, I would have had to wait the next morning to get the next one, because, like, obviously I was starting at 12 and my last train would be at 12, so it would have been super far away for it would have been a long time for me to wait for the next one. But that's just to put it into perspective for you, like, you know, this was not no regular job. But anyway, yeah, I remember going in, right, 12 o'clock in the night, walking with all the other people that were waiting for the trains, walking. No, so I was on the train, and I remember sitting with people, like, on the way to work, like, doing the same thing as me. And I just saw, like, a bunch of, like, multicultural people, like, so many different types of people that were doing different things. I at the workplace, and a lot of them were old and a lot of them were young. So I guess it was a 50-50 split, to be fair, actually. But anyway, fast forward, I used to be at, so my role, as I said, was to pick up boxes and put them on a conveyor belt. So I used to do that basically for 12 hours straight, and I would only get like half an hour break, and that shit was so, like, this was literally like slavery work. This was slavery work to the point where it's just like, I don't know how anyone can do this. This is actually ridiculous. Like, people are actually doing this job like day in, day out. This is their full-time grind. And I was just like, yo, this is crazy. Like, I have to get up. I have to get up at around 10 o'clock, right? Go to the train station, catch a train, catch another train, get to the train station, hope that I'm not late, catch another train, finally get to work, or get to the area of work, walk to work, put my clothes in the locker, and just stand up for 12 hours straight, putting boxes on a fucking conveyor belt. Nah. That shit taught me so damn much. Like, that taught me that you really have to work hard in life, because nothing is given to you. And it's not even like they gave you like the best treatment while you was there. Like, this was some straight up slavery shit. Like, if you did anything wrong, they had like aisles of people working, right? They had like their own zone. And at each zone, there was an instructor that would literally stand at the end for 12 hours and watch you. They would watch you control the zone. Like, meaning that if you stepped out of place anytime, they would call you up and be like, yo, come on, get back to work. Bro, you do not want to be living that life. And these times, when I think I did that when I was around, I'm going to say 17, 18. I want to say that. I can't remember exactly. It's been a while now. But I did that for like 6 months. That was a 6-month grind. Like, just to get peas, because it was paying a lot, I'm not going to lie. But obviously, the implications of it were way more drastic than the money that you was getting. Because, like, you would just be fatigued. Like, your body doesn't function. Like that was like the type of job that could really get you depressed, bro. And I was just like, damn, like, this shit is hard. So that was like one job that really taught me a lesson. Like, that was a 9 to 5 in a sense, that taught me like, yo, you need to step up your game. Like, especially if you're like a person who, like, you got talent, like, you got potential, and you know, you probably clicked on this video because you're in a state of mind where it's like, you want to gather more information and see, is this 9 to 5 life really worth it? And the truth is, it's not. It's really not. But anyway, I want to continue my story. If you made it this far, then drop a like and subscribe, because I'm really just like ranting right now. But anyway, not my second job. At this point, this would have been like my 4th to 5th job. I had a few more in between, but I actually can't remember what they were. But this time I was working for a bike company, right? This was the bike company that I was talking about. So at this company, I basically had to get an order from a warehouse, jump on a bike and deliver the order to the customer. And this was for groceries. So that's why I say it was local. Like, we had a little warehouse that was full of food. Then we literally took a bike, or we had electric bikes, and we literally had to just take it to the warehouse. It's kind of like what I presume DoorDash is in America, and what like Uber Eats is here. But yeah, I had to do that, and I did that for about 2 years, I think. Sorry, my COD's playing. I did that for like 2 years straight. But that was like another like strenuous job. But at least at that job it was a bit different because I was getting paid more there than I was doing the stupid Amazon job. Plus, I was closer to home. Like I was literally it was 2 minutes from my house just to walk from where I was to the warehouse. So like considering that, I was kind of blessed to get that job, I'll be honest. Just because of the convenience and the amount I was getting paid. But yeah, I did that for like a while. Like I was there. I made like a lot of friends at that job. Like I saw so many people. Like I saw what they did. I met new people in the hood that I've never even met before, but they just found out about the job, and then, you know what I'm saying, from there we just chopped it up. But yeah, like that was another job that's like, I would say I learned more at that job than I did at the one at Amazon, mainly because this was sort of like a family orientated job, and plus it was a startup. So the dynamics of it was different. It's not like a big corporate job. This was literally like, you get to know the people that you work with, sort of thing. Like this was like my first startup company. So I did that for a while. And I remember I was like a rider. So a rider is the person that takes a delivery to the customer. And then you had like a pick and packer, which was the person that would pack the delivery to give to the rider for the rider to then take to the customer. So I remember like after like 1 year, so the first year I sort of just, I was just winging it. Like I literally wanted money, so I was like, cool, fuck it, let me do it. Then halfway through the year, like I sort of saw an opportunity. And at this time, like I was like, right, I'm at an age now where it's like I need to sort of fix up, right? So I need to sort of get experience. Like, and I'm working at this shit job. But then I thought to myself, okay, well then how can I leverage this job for me to get experience? So I sort of saw like a gap that I could fill. So I remember I went to my manager and I said to him, look, like I'm trying to step up. I'm trying to sort of better my life. Like I'm trying to, you know, at least get something on my CV that's worth sort of talking about. So I said to him, like, I'm interested in the supervisor role. And obviously, like, that's a big step up from, you know, just being like a regular rider that anyone could have been. But he managed to see potential in me just because of the way that I conveyed, just because of the way I conveyed the message. And he saw like the potential in the end. So that job, I did actually manage to become the supervisor. So I did that for literally like a year and got experience doing that. Obviously I had to prove myself, which is always hard. Like, but I feel like that's sort of what you have to do. Especially like if you're watching this and you're young or whatever, or you're within the same age range as me, like, bro, you need to find a way to just step the fuck up, and you need to find a way to do it quick. Like, if you hate your job, at least find a way to like be the highest in the hated job. Like, it's literally that simple, at least just to get some experience on your CV or whatever, and just keep going. Like, I remember I did that, and like my whole perspective of like just the job world changed, because instead of being the one that was taking orders, I was the one in charge of giving orders. And that in itself was like a dynamic shift. But that did teach me a lot. Now, the whole point of this video is to sort of show you the grind within the 9-to-5 world, right? But this isn't like a place where you want to stay, so to say. Like, one thing that I did learn, or that I've consolidated after doing all my jobs, is that, bro, you don't want to be working a 9-to-5 at the end of the day, because you have to always constantly be on top of your on the tip of your toes. You have to adhere to people. For you to progress, you have to like sort of like, I don't want to say be fake, but you have to navigate like you constantly have to be like awake, if that makes sense. Like you constantly have to be awake for you to see an opportunity. And it's just like, bro, you don't really want to be doing that. Instead, you really want to be the one at the top of, you know, the top of the chain. You want to be the business owner. And so for that, you know, it is convenient to get some sort of 9-to-5 experience, just to see what it's like. But that should never be your main goal. Your main goal should be just to like learn and see what you can get from the job, and then apply the knowledge that you've learned. For example, you know, me getting that step up showed myself, well, proved to myself that I can literally like do this shit. Like I could step up. If I could step up and do this, then I could step up and run a business. Like the same confidence, the same conviction is literally the same. Like you just need to like boss up, I guess. Boss up. And I would recommend starting like your own side hustle as well, because like even if you are in a 9-to-5, at least you have something sort of just to do while you're there. Well, yeah, while you're there. And yeah, that's literally it. Like, but working this 9-to-5 life, bro, I'm telling you, it's not the one. Like, it's not the one. It's not the one. I might do like a part 2 to this video. I don't know. I might just continue it or whatever, because there's another job I want to talk about now, which is my current job. But yeah, I might just leave that for another video because this is quite long already. But yeah, I think I'm going to end it there. If you guys got any sort of value from this video, then drop a like and subscribe to the channel. I've got a lot more content coming. If you want to see anything in particular, or you want me to talk about anything in particular, then just drop it in the comments. But yeah, on an off day, I am out. Peace.